Hi, I'm Mike Massimino. For the past few shuttle flights, we've taken you behind the scenes to meet the crews as they train for their flights and the people around the country who make those missions fly. But there's a lot of footage that we haven't shown you yet, so we'd like to take you back to some of our recent flights and introduce you to more of the people who do everything at NASA. We hope you enjoy this episode of NASA Behind the Scenes. We're here in the Mission Control Center. You're supporting STS-131. You're a two-time shuttle commander and two-time shuttle pilot, so you've flown in space 4 times. What were you doing here today, though, with these guys? What was going on?
So today I was the asset entry Capcom for STS-131 crew, and we had way too many malfunctions. Sim supervisor really hammered the crew and the mission control team with about 11 independent failures, but the team handled it well, and the crew executed all their procedures perfectly, so it was a good day. We're handing over to the Orbit 2 team, and we're in good shape for orbit operations. This is one of our final simulations before the actual launch.
Right. And you'll be here, for, of course, doing your job for the actual launch as well.
The actual launch, I'll be the asset entry Capcom, and then I'll be also their Capcom for their orbit. I'll be the Shuttle Orbit 1 Capcom. Yeah. This works out extremely well because the 131 mission is very similar to the mission we just flew on STS-128, so I'm familiar with all their tasks and ready to support anything that might come up with the mission and the crew.
And you mentioned failures. I mean, you've been on the flight deck as a commander or pilot for 4 launches. And how many times you've been in here for a launch as a Capcom?
I'm not exactly sure.
But a lot.
A lot of times.
Okay. So have you ever seen anything in flight that's like, I mean, the sims are always worse than the flight, right?
Fortunately, the sims are so far worse than the flight for the most part, and that's a good thing, but we do believe that practicing all these malfunctions is useful training to get us ready. It stresses the team and the crew, and gets us ready for the real thing. We have had a few malfunctions for real, and so we were well prepared to handle those.
All right.
But there is such a thing as excess, and sometimes sim suits do get a little carried away, and we understand that.
All right, man. I know you got to go, but if you don't mind, you would tell me some interesting stuff because we're handing over. You were telling me what was going on. You talking about some of the cool stuff you've done earlier. We were looking at the shuttle flying over Baja. Right, in the sim. And you mentioned you at one point in your life you actually raced in Baja.
I did. Right? I was on pit crew since I was about 15 years old down there in Baja for the Goodyear pit crew. Yeah. And then had the opportunity later on, I was part of a racing team, and I was a driver and raced in the Baja 1000, racing the Baja 500 and some other races, and then some other desert races in California and Arizona. So it's always interesting to me when we fly overhead in the space shuttle to look down there and see the places where we chewed up a little dirt down there.
Yeah. Did that get you? Now you flew F-18s, and then you flew space. I know you flew a lot of other stuff too, but did that racing, you think, get you ready for what you're going fast in those other vehicles?
It did. You know, there's a lot of racers have to improvise. You know, you have a plan for the race, but things always happen with the race cars, with the pits, and so you have to improvise and adapt and overcome. And so I think racing prepared me very well for service in the Marine Corps and also for at NASA to fly in the space shuttle.
Cool stuff, man.
It's all good.
All right, you're the flight director for this STS-131 crew. What do you think of these guys and gals? It's a mixed crew. We got guys and gals.
Crew Discovery is awesome. Looking forward to work with Dex and the rest of Discovery. This is going to be one of the big logistics flights to round out station before the end of the shuttle program, and I know these guys are ready to go do it.
All right, so you went to Clarkson, and did you come right down here to work, or did you do something else?
I grew up on a dairy farm.
All right.
And so I guess I basically grew up into a job there, a family-owned farm operation.
Yeah.
And
were you supposed to stay there and work the farm?
Yeah.
And you're screwing around by coming over here? Is that what happened?
My dad was mad as hell when I told him I was going to engineering school.
Yeah.
And my brother and I left the farm and moved down here. But I went to engineering school at Clarkson, got a bachelor's. Yeah. While I was there, I did an internship with the Johnson Space Center here in Houston, and working on shuttle flight software, guidance and nav stuff, and just kind of came down here and fell in love with the people and the work, and It's been 16 years.
Wow. And you said your brother. Now, I know your brother is a diver out at the pool, right? He works as a diver. And he claims that you dragged him down here. Is that true?
To make a long story short, I was looking forward to coming down here, and he was working as an auto mechanic in town.
All right.
And I basically said, one day I got the job offer. I went in at lunchtime and told him, hey, I'm going to Houston. And I jokingly said I could use a roommate. And he came home at the end of the day and said, I gave him my 2 weeks notice. I'm going to Houston with you. And,
wow.
We dumped that on our parents the same day. They lost both their hired hands on the farm, and we moved to Houston.
I was going to say, so both of you cut out on the farm. So who's running the farm?
My parents sold it in 1999, so they ran it themselves for 6 years.
Oh, my goodness.
And, yeah, that's more than a full-time job. And they live in town now.
Where in town?
Richfield Springs, New York. Which
up in New York, okay.
It's like 14 miles from Cooperstown.
Okay.
And a small town, and they love it.
32 or something like that. The flag comes up.
What are you looking for?
I'm looking for a tile damage.
What's your name, man?
Dan Keenan.
Ken Keenan?
Dan?
Dan.
Yeah, I'm a tile guy.
Tile guy?
TPS engineer.
Not bathrooms.
No.
You do bathrooms and
These tiles.
Oh, that I just had the tile done in my kitchen.
Oh, did you really?
Can you do that too?
I can do that. For you, I'll do it.
Get out of here, good man. Okay, no, but what are you doing here? Man, what do you got going?
See, here's the problem. They all look the same. So now I found one that had a little minor gang, and I'm trying to track it down.
Find it. Did you write down the number?
Geographically.
Okay.
It's right there, so...
All right. You got to be smart for this job, Dan.
No, I
got
through that hoop somehow.
I've got plenty of film.
You have to have good eyes. I'll find it here shortly. How are things with you?
Well, everything's good, man. I got no complaints.
I'm glad to hear it.
I got no complaints. I hope you find the tile. What are these guys doing over here, Dan?
Let's go look. Oh, they pulled a carrier panel off. That's a...
What has he got, or what?
A carrier panel with bib on it, flexible insulation blanket.
All right. Where'd they get that from?
They pulled it off...
Were they supposed to do that?
No way. I'm going to have to get on them.
All right. All right.
And they got the paper, and Terry White's here, so we should be good.
Terry's the man, so I'm in the wheel well.
He is the man. He's the mayor of this place. At least I think so.
All right. So
what they did is they pulled it off right here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, why'd they do that? What'd they do, Terry? What happened?
That's where we're actually going to lift the orbiter when we get into the OPF. That's
You're kidding me, is that right there?
Yes, that's it.
No,
really?
actually we're going to lift it with the floor lifts, but that's where we attach it to the big side jacks.
Yeah.
That's where it attaches.
That little hole right there?
Yeah, that's the same
I'm going to zoom in on that one.
That's the same one.
Look, the guy's right up. There's a guy going in there. What's he looking for? Birds?
Well, now he's got to inspect.
He's looking at, there's a lot of inspecting.
Yeah, he's the NASA quality. He's going to inspect it before they put this in there, and then we'll actually put the attachment on the jack into that to support the orbiter for the next several months while we work on it.
My goodness.
That's the same.
That's amazing. That says right there.
That's
How
the same
deep is that
attach
thing?
point we used to lift it in the vertical assembly building.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
That's a pretty strong there, isn't it?
If you want me to get your permission to go up there and look at it?
Can I go up there and look at it? Look at that. Hey, it looks good to me. It looks good to me. You check it off. Look at it climbing up on the space shuttle. Can you imagine? Look how cool this is. You guys like doing this stuff?
Oh, yeah. Too many times you get to see all of it because of the structure.
Yeah, exactly. What's going to happen now? You guys are going to tow it. Is that right? It's going to get towed?
Yes.
And then it's going to get picked up over by the SLF there, right?
Yeah, one's just going to tow it all the way into OPF.
Oh, it doesn't go up on that
it'll go in there, and then there's 3 floor lifts that'll lift it hydraulically to the maintenance height. We'll attach it here, and then we'll start disassembling from this flight and get the last of the astronauts' effects out, and the payload customers want their stuff out, and then we'll start gaining access to the vehicle to start taking, got to put all the platforms in so we can take engines out and that. So.
All right. it's going so slow. You know, it went a few hours ago. It was going 17,500 miles an hour, and now it's just going. That's what? It's crawling. 3 miles an hour. It's crawling. Well, there's Atlantis. How many miles it got on it?
You know,
I didn't read that.
It's got like a lot.
before this flight,
Yeah.
it had 4,451 orbits, 114 million
That's
miles.
probably got almost 120 now.
Right, that would be about that.
150, 119, 108, 108. All right. Wow.
This is, prior to that mission.
All right. Amazing.